Yo, what's going on guys, Arekkz here and welcome to a video for PLAYERUnknown'S Battlegrounds. This is a game I've been playing a lot lately. It is super good fun. It's been in beta for the past few months, but it is now available on Steam via Early Access. It is, in my opinion, the definitive Battle Royale experience. The same guy that is behind H1Z1 King of the Kill and the Armor Battle Royale mod is the very same guy behind Battlegrounds. So if you guys like Battle Royale games, then this is definitely one to check out. But in this video, I want to put together 17 handy tips that'll help you win your games in Battlegrounds. So if you do enjoy this, you do find it helpful, then a like would be super appreciated. Any questions, drop them down below, and also if you have any additional tips, be sure to share them in the comments. But kicking things off at number 1, parachuting at the beginning or the end of your run. Now when you start a match, your plane will of course fly at a fixed trajectory. It'll fly across the map, and then once you are over the map, you're then free to jump out the plane whenever you please. Of course, one of the main things to contend with in a Battle Royale game is knowing where your opponents are. There's no radar, so you have to rely on your sight and your surroundings. Now, if you drop in the very middle of the map, then you of course have to deal with people in a 360-degree circle. People could be absolutely anywhere. Whereas if you drop at the very beginning of your flight or the very end, then you at least have the added bonus of knowing that generally speaking, people will be either behind you or in front of you, but not everywhere around you. So if you're new to the mode, this is definitely going to be one of the safest ways to begin looting. Does of course mean you're a little bit limited when you drop on the map, but if you at least want to find your feet and get started, then this is a good thing to consider. However, for those of you guys that want to get into the action as quickly as possible, moving on to number 2, if you point your character directly downwards as you're falling out the plane and before you pull your chute, then you will of course fall as fast as possible. This is far faster than falling forward, and if during your fall you exceed 230 km per hour, you will actually drop further before your parachute pulls, which of course means you can then hit the ground sooner, and of course you can then begin looting, in turn giving you an advantage over anyone in the surrounding area. Moving on to number 3, your parachute opens relative to your map's topography. Now if you look on the screen on the left, when you're falling you basically have this little meter. This not only indicates how fast you're falling, but if you see this little black segment at the bottom, that basically depicts the elevation of the ground that is around you. The bigger the black segment, the earlier your parachute will pull. So if you're basically parachuting towards, say, a mountain, and there is of course much greater elevation, and the black segment is much bigger, it means your parachute will pull considerably earlier. So if you are trying to fall as fast as possible, fall as far as possible without your chute being pulled automatically, then this is something you're definitely going to have to consider. After that, number 4, this is the last one for the parachute side of things, and then we can actually get on the ground. But when you're parachuting and when you're falling, it is actually far better to tap forward or W every second or so, as opposed to consistently holding W. By doing this, you're able to build up momentum, you're able to travel further. So if you are in a situation where, say, the plane doesn't quite go over where you want to, and you want to travel a greater distance, then point in that direction and continually press forward, and this will mean you'll travel a greater distance than if you were just holding forward. After that, moving on to number 5, this is a really quick one, but right-clicking attachments will apply them to a gun with an empty slot of the corresponding type. So if you're in your menu and you're trying to attach things very quickly, instead of having to drag them over, you can simply right-click on it, and provided there is an empty slot and that gun supports that attachment, it will then automatically attach. Of course, if you do want to be, more granular and suddenly swap things around, you're going to have to do that manually, but for quickness, for ease, right-clicking is a good way to go. Also, with regards to looting, again, this is a very important thing. When you are looting lots of items on the ground, if you open your inventory, you will see them all listed on the left. You can then drag them or right-click them to push them into your inventory. And the reason this is quicker is because if you do it in-game without using your menu, you will then have to go through the animation for picking up an item every single time. So if you imagine there are sort of 4 or 5 items on the ground, then that's 4 different crouch animations to pick up the loot, versus going into your inventory, dragging it all across, which is considerably quicker. Again, very useful if you are trying to loot in an area where you know other people are, and you need to get stuff as quickly as possible. Number 7, something to consider with regards to sound. Sound direction is based on the direction that your screen is oriented, not the direction of your character. So if you are in a position where, say, you are facing a tree, holding down Alt, but then turning your camera behind you so your character doesn't actually move but your screen moves, that is the direction that sound is based. So pay attention to your screen, not where your character is facing when trying to work out sound direction. Number 8, while you're in third person, holding down right click to aim, you can then use Q and E to move the gun between your corresponding shoulders. So if you've ever been in a situation where you're on the other shoulder and you're not sure why, this is of course how you swap. But it's also useful if you're trying to go around corners and trying to peek and get the best vision, then this is going to be a very useful way to give you that little bit of extra visibility. Number 9, also while in third person, if you hold down right click, which is basically shoulder fire, if you see a red circle appear on a wall or the object that you're hiding behind, this means that your shot has been obstructed. So if you're sitting behind cover, trying to peek out and shoot a target, if you see that red circle when you're in shoulder mode, it means your shot will instead hit the cover in front of you, whatever you're hiding behind, and not where you are pointing. Number 10, an important thing to consider with regards to armor. Now, level 1, 2, and 3 armor pieces all provide you with the same defensive capabilities. The only differences between them are the amount of loot they can carry and also the health of that item. So while a level 3 chest piece can take more shots before it's destroyed, it doesn't actually provide you with any additional defensive capabilities. In other words, level 3 isn't greater defense than level 1, it's just more health. So if you're in a situation where you've only got level 1, it doesn't necessarily mean you're at a disadvantage, it just means you need to take fewer shots. So an important thing to understand. Also for helmets, level 1 and 2 helmets don't provide you with as much protection as a level 3 helmet, and that is because if you look at level 3 helmet, it actually covers all parts of your face. If you are shot in the lower part of your face whilst wearing a level 1 or a level 2 helmet, it would be like you are not wearing a helmet at all. The only parts of your head that those helmets protect are the sides, the top, and the back. Meanwhile, a level 3 helmet protects you all the way around. After that, when you guys are driving, don't forget to use the emergency brake, that is spacebar, to perform a handbrake turn. This is very useful if you are under fire. Perhaps you need to get out your car but also provide yourself with some cover, so instead of simply stopping, you can handbrake the car, spin around, jump out, and then of course go from there. 13, also whilst driving, vehicle boost should only really be used either to get up to max speed or to go up hills. Once you're at max speed, using the boost will not give you any additional speed, and it is just going to burn through fuel a lot quicker than if you're driving without it. So to try and conserve fuel, especially if you're going to be doing a long journey, then make sure you are only using boost either up a hill or to get up to max speed if you had to drive from stopping. 14, for when you guys are using grenades, 5 will cycle between the different grenade types, so if you need to jump between smoke grenades, stun grenades, and frag grenades, then pressing 5 will allow you to cycle. 15, also on the topic of grenades, whenever you see a red arc appear, that means that the grenade cook clock has begun. So don't just see this as an aiming arc, this is also a ticking time bomb, so the second you see that, you need to get ready to throw it. Don't hang on to it for too long, otherwise you will end up dead. Almost there now. Number 16, if you hold shift whilst aiming down sights with iron sights, hollow sights, or red dot sights, not only do you hold your breath for more steady shots, but you also zoom in ever so slightly, making it a little bit easier to spot enemies. And then finally, number 17, you can move slightly whilst using bandages or boosts, so if you are behind a tree trying to heal up or trying to use painkillers, then you can ever so slightly shuffle left and right. You can't move too far because of course that will cancel it, but at least moving like this means you are less of a kind of sitting duck, less of a target, so it might help save your life just a little bit. But that is pretty much it. Those are 17 tips that should hopefully help you guys out on your way to victory. If you guys did find this helpful, a like would be super appreciated. Comment down below, let me know if you guys are playing this game. I'm super enjoying it. It'd be kind of great to hear how you guys are getting on with it. But for the time being, thank you for watching. Take it easy. Catch you next time. Peace out.